Today we are continuing with the Shrimad Bhagwatam, Jewels of Wisdom. Yesterday we had the Katha of Rishabh Dev and how he gave many teachings to his children, but I gave you three of the ones which I thought were the most important for us. Rishabh Dev, as I said, had 100 children. Bharat was the eldest of all his sons, 99 sons. And he was given the duty of ruling the kingdom after Rishabh Dev left to live the life of an avdut in the forest. Bharat also was an exemplary king, and he was also a very devout bhakt and quite spiritually evolved also. And in time, he also renounced the kingdom and went to live in a forest. Once, while he was sitting on the banks of a river, he was chanting, and he saw a pregnant deer had come to drink water from the river. And he was watching. Suddenly, the deer heard the roar of a lion, and being so scared, the deer jumped into the river to save herself. In the bargain, the baby deer that she was carrying in her womb fell out, and before the mother could reach the other side of the river, the mother also died. Bharat saw this unfortunate accident. His heart got filled with compassion. He jumped up and leapt into the river to save the baby, the fawn. As soon as he picked up that baby, something triggered in his heart, and he said, I'm going to keep this baby and I'm going to take care of it, nurture it, just as if it was my own newborn child. The days passed, and Bharat became extremely attached to the baby deer and started even referring to it as my dear, my child. What had happened was that Bharat, who was so spiritually evolved, had now given birth to attachment in his heart. So feeling compassion, caring for someone, nurturing them, these are all extremely good qualities. They are all sattvic qualities. But the moment the my comes into the picture, my means mama, mamata. Then if you are not savdhan, you have already come onto the slide of patan. My child, my house, my parent, my mother, my father, my wife, my husband. These my, whenever you attach the my, you have to be really careful because that is the beginning of attachment. Anyway, this attachment that Bharat felt towards the baby became stronger and stronger and stronger. And in the bargain, the sadhanas became weaker and weaker and weaker. While doing his sadhana also, while doing dhyan, while doing jap, his mind would completely get distracted, disturbed by thoughts of the deer. Now, one fine day, the deer just decided to leave, and no one knew where the deer had gone. Bharat was distraught with anguish and anxiety. Anguish because he thought, how will I ever live without my dear deer? And anxiety, what must be happening to the deer? What must he be eating? Will another lion come and kill him? All this gadbad went on whirring around in his head. The deer was never found, and Bharat kept constantly thinking about it. Unfortunately, one day, while his mind was totally absorbed in the thoughts of the deer, his Atma left the body. Now there's a saying which says, Ante Mati sa gati means the last thought that is there in the mind as the Atma leaves the body, that thought will decide the body in which the person will take the next birth. Actually, Bharat was so evolved that maybe he would never have needed to take another birth at all. But this attachment and this thought at the last minute when his Atma left the body was the thought of his deer. And therefore, he had to take a next birth, and he took the birth in the form of a deer. But because there were all these sanskars, these deeply spiritual sanskars, he was so highly evolved that he remembered, even as a deer, he remembered his attachment and why he was born as a deer. Now, all he could do was gladly accept his prarabdha, gladly accept that his mistake in his previous birth had given him birth in the form of a deer. And now, all he could do was have patience till the body of the deer drops. And after that, he has to even accept where he will be born and how he will be born in the next life. Because as a deer, he cannot do any action to finish his karma. Learning from this for us, aham, I-ness, and mama, my-ness, can enter our antakaran and cause havoc, cause our downfall, cause our patan. Even if we are doing some very noble acts, some very sattvic actions, even when we are doing seva, this aham and this mama can enter our antakaran, enter our heart, and it's an extremely subtle process. It enters silently. So we need to be more savdhan while doing seva, more savdhan when doing sattvic things, noble acts, punya, because at that time we don't even realize that aham and mama have entered us. Aham meaning I have done this, karta bhav, and mama, I have done this, so I'm attached to the action and the fruit thereof. So be careful. It's a word of caution from the Shrimad Bhagwatam. Be savdhan even while doing sadhana. That's for today, and more about this tomorrow. Let's start with Mata.